You can broadcast your life to millions of people simultaneously, yet still go to sleep feeling completely invisible. Building a massive following isn't always about achieving social success. For many, it's a meticulously crafted suit of armor. We use engagement to guard ourselves against the terrifying prospect of actually being seen. This diagram tracks how a social algorithm behaves. The system actively filters out nodes carrying negative or vulnerable data, prioritizing the high-speed pathways that deliver frictionless content. Life, however, is rarely frictionless. If you get a 3 a.m. phone call that your sister and 2-year-old niece were in a sudden car crash, that messy, terrifying reality doesn't fit the algorithm's requirements. It gets buried. Relying on those metrics to cope leaves you vulnerable. You are forced to amputate the chaotic, real parts of your human experience just to keep the numbers up. The human brain is efficient at finding ways to avoid pain. We chase rapid, superficial dopamine hits to numb out the internal history we refuse to process. Creating a viral AI filter based on Mortal Kombat can trigger a flood of notifications. That sudden surge of attention acts as a powerful anesthetic, temporarily drowning out the silence of reality. But that silence often holds the heavy things we've inherited. A dying grandfather confessing that his single greatest regret in life is that his children grew up to be exactly like him. You can spend decades running from that kind of shadow. You construct personas, you hunt phantoms, and put on daily performances just to avoid looking at the fears hiding in your own mirror. A million digital comments can distract from an internal voice, but they can't silence it. Eventually, the performance ends, and we are left with the anxieties we tried to scroll past. This chart tracks a volatile spike in user engagement. When the algorithm shifts, the line plummets towards zero in a matter of hours, cutting off the artificial validation. The vast, empty negative space underneath that flat line represents the psychological withdrawal that hits when validation vanishes and you're left alone. This drop reveals a physical cost. Every hour spent optimizing a digital persona is an hour taken from the people in the same room. The digital reach grew, while the physical circle quietly withered from neglect. If a sudden tragedy were to strike your life today, how many of those thousands of digital followers would actually notice your absence and reach out to check on you? The collapse of a persona removes the option of hiding. When the artificial validation is gone, the silence becomes a confrontation, forcing us to deal with the person underneath the metrics. Real impact requires stepping outside the digital highlight reel. It demands building tangible research, creating physical businesses, and contributing ideas that endure without needing a constant stream of clicks. This is Cambridge University. Establishing a legacy here means putting your work into the physical world, submitting research to be evaluated by historic academic institutions. Some pursue legacy through literal permanence, archiving materials and DNA on the lunar surface, designed to outlast global annihilation. Compare the gravity of those physical milestones to the fragility of an online following. One takes years of quiet, uncelebrated effort. The other can be wiped out overnight by a single server update. Building a true legacy means constructing something durable in the physical and intellectual world. You cannot secure your impact by renting temporary space in an algorithmic feed. In the context of mental health, legacy is measured strictly by the depth, vulnerability, and honesty of your relationships, rather than the sheer volume of an audience. To begin healing, you have to shatter the illusion of perfection. You have to strip away the constant theater and drop the performance you've been using to keep people at a distance. This requires trading the easy, superficial small talk for deep, uncomfortable, mind-to-mind conversations that actually challenge who you are. Stepping out from behind the armor you've worn for years is terrifying. You are exposing the very cracks you've worked so hard to hide. But that intense fear is the indicator that you are finally moving in the right direction. The path to genuine recovery is never comfortable. Understanding your pain isn't a cure. You must take direct action to process the cause of the damage, rather than returning to the comfort of the numb. An authentic life is driven by meaningful work and real relationships. It means accepting the friction of human connection, embracing the messiness of reality without trying to apply a filter. If you lack genuine love and connection, no amount of digital fame, any viral reach, or financial success will carry any weight when the final curtains fall. It's time to break the silence. Stop treating your world like a panic-gripped lifeline. Let go of the shadows and step fully into the light. You have to choose the terrifying reality of being truly known by a few close souls rather than living the rest of your days as a phantom, completely unknown to millions.